Hello everyone. How is everyone doing on this fine morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on your time zone? I hope everyone has been having a great, what's it today? Tuesday. I hope everyone has been having a great Tuesday. My Tuesday has been going pretty well, if I do say so myself. Have been like mostly chilling. Like not really doing much, just mostly practicing piano as always. And like, yeah, pretty much just doing the casual, like, same old, same old. But that's gonna change, because today is the day. Because, for those who weren't here a few weeks or so ago, I have been going on a pretty insane, like, streak on my Goldenberries. Especially recently, like last week, where I went crazy last week and not only got 7B golden, but I also got a new world record in one shot, or at least got a better world record in one shot, because I did have the world record beforehand and then I improved it like a week or so ago, which is crazy to like think about, considering like how shitty like almost every other Sunday speedrun has been up until then. But yeah, as I was saying, a few weeks or so ago, we have got 7B golden, a fucking miracle, and now the only one left now, the only Goldenberry that is left for us to get is 7B golden. The last one that we need is not 7B. I'm stupid. What the fuck am I saying? It's Farewell. It's Farewell Golden. It is the very last one that we need to get. And for this singular occasion, let me go ahead and quickly find the scene for it. What can I change? Yeah, let me just switch that out. Where is my browser scene? There we go. And because of this occasion, I have been like looking into like how the fuck would be the best way to like get the Goldenberry. Like I literally opened up every fucking like thing I could find. I opened up the Wire Friends list, which is like the list of every player who got all the 202 berries. That means also getting Farewell. I have the fucking like Farewell golden list opened to see what the requirements were, which is pretty much just like play, like get the golden, record it, and not have any advantage mods on, like anything that could like help you get it easier. Like as it says, yeah, having Everest on during the run is allowed as long as you don't use it to gain a significant advantage over people who don't have mods loaded. Meaning most likely the like FPS mod, like the unhooking FPS mod that I have to have 240 FPS, most likely will not be allowed. I will check up on it though in the like, in the Celeste Pacing Association Discord, because that's where most people like oftentimes ping people who are on Farewell paces, like good Farewell golden paces and everything. So I might just go ahead and ask there if the FPS mod is allowed. Most likely not though, because of course it does say if it's giving me an advantage over people who don't have mods, then it's gonna be not allowed. So most likely it's not gonna be allowed. But yeah, I have an entire strategy guide opened, and I made like in about like 10 or 15 minutes, I made my own like practice sheet to see like in which sections I have the lowest death, if it was deathless, in which rooms I had the most amount of deaths. I need to remove this because I have now 0 deaths. And the number of the lowest deaths I got doing a lowest death run in each singular section, to see what my lowest can actually be. And so because of that, I'd probably say let's go ahead and just like first start looking into the Farewell strategy guide. Because I feel like that might be a good place to start at. These hints aren't necessarily dedicated to any specific rooms, but to the entire goal run in general. They may help you with issues like nerve controlling or consistency issues. Okay. Okay, let me look at the contents. General hints. Do low death runs. Practice deathless checkpoints. Do not overcomplicate things. Use a debug map. Keep your own pace. Oil skip. Major strategies. Wave dash PPT wall bounces. DT5 super dash. Final DT room cycle. Singular. And that's all of the chapters. I probably look at do low death runs first. Do low death runs. Since Farewell is a tough chapter, you first run will usually have a fairly large death amount, often above 3,000. A little lower. The lowest I have currently for Farewell is 1,168, but that's with like 2 or 3 other attempts. Finishing the chapter multiple times will show you your general progress and give you a view on what rooms you have to improve on, or what your current choke point, what's your current choke point. Once you get to a really low death count, 20 or less, these runs become rather obsolete. However, it is useful to do at least one of them to see what checkpoints you need to more practice on. Practice deathless checkpoints. The next step is to be able to consistently pass through the entire sub-chapters without dying once. Playing through them multiple times, mess around with strategies and check what causes the most amount of deaths on your run, and try to improve on them. Here's a recommended priority for checkpoints. Event Horizon, one of the hardest checkpoints. Okay, hold on. Event Horizon, how far is that? Let me check. Event Horizon, that is like the midway point. Although it is fairly straightforward for most of the time, some rooms require a decent amount of precision, therefore requiring a bit of practice to get your muscle memory down. Usually the biggest choke point on gold runs is less precise than Event Horizon for most of the time, but it has similar rooms that contain cycles or quick movement that can be difficult to get used to. Oh boy. Reconciliation, although it's not particularly difficult until the last few rooms, is a really long and stressful section, especially so far into a run. Great checkpoint to practice some nerve control, as it's the longest one and it has a couple of choke points. Has a couple of tricky rooms that can be annoying to deal with, so it's recommended. Remembered, how far is this one? Remembered, it's one sub-chapter behind Event Horizon. Has a couple of tricky rooms that can be annoying to deal with, so it's recommended to do a few runs of it to be able to pass consistently. Dying and Remembered often feels frustrating for players, as it's past the power source skip, but not far enough to get to the hardest parts of the chapter. Stubbornness, despite its length, it has 3 rooms that can be difficult to get used to: ST2, ST4, and ST7. Highly recommended to play through the final room multiple times, as it's very easy to mess up. Don't rush as you might end up missing a cycle. Missing a cycle? What happens if I do miss a cycle? Do I just like die and I can't do anything about it? Can I like go back one room and then go back to be able to be on a good cycle again? That would be good like probably like a good practice point then. Because cycles really suck. Farewell, it's only a single room unless you're planning to get the Moonberry as well. But for as far as it is, nerves will make this room a lot more intimidating. You need to be able to do it consistently. First try this room, or else you need more practice. I need to consistently first try the room, or else I need more practice on it. Holy. There's not much else to practice than the key skip itself. Try to get used to the jellyvators. As for dash, as the dashes are 3 frame inputs. 3 frames. Jesus. And then singular. Basically, no need to practice checkpoint as it's very beginning of your run. You'll get better at it the more runs you do. And yeah, I have this one pretty much deathless. But yeah, farewell. If I can't do this one first try consistently, I need to do more practice on it. Which is kind of insane to think about. Because like, yeah, this is like the last room. So you want to be consistent with this one. I also just realized you can't see anything because I'm not on the right scene. That is Delt's room. There it is. I just realized you couldn't see anything because like I was on the wrong scene while I was doing the like first like room, like the first attempt or so. Yeah, this is pretty much the last room before the actual like last golden room. So unless I cannot do this one first try consistently, I need to do more practice on it. At least according to the strategy guide. But it shouldn't be too much of an issue, I'm gonna be honest. Of course, doing the actual run, once I do actually get here, my heart rate's probably gonna give me a heart attack when I get here. But as long as I don't do any dumb mistakes and I stay calm, I should hopefully be fine. Because like I've done this room multiple times. I've done it using the MIDI piano. I can do this. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. If I can do this room with a MIDI piano, then I can do it without a MIDI piano. Jesus Christ. That was a lot of momentum. And yeah, after that, it's 1, 2. Boom, boom, boom. Then I would fly up. And then that would be the farewell chapter run. And then we would get into the actual last one. Which I don't know where the last room is. I think it's like really far off screen. Yeah, there it is. Here's the farewell golden. Like farewell golden, like last room. This would be like the final boss essentially to the farewell golden runs, because this, you only get this room when you have the Goldenberry. You don't get this one in a normal run. Only when you have the Goldenberry is when you see this. But it shouldn't be too much of an issue because it is mostly very safe. You can most of it like play very safe and you would still be good to go. You just have to not choke by doing some like silly dumb shit. Like if you don't do any dumb shit, you are basically good to go. And then you would go do this, do that, up and up, climb up, and then right here you would get the golden. Like right here is when you would actually actually get the like Goldenberry during an actual attempt. Yeah, I need to do farewell consistently, so I'm gonna try 2 more times or so. And if I can do it during those 2 other attempts, then we should be good. Then we will go this. I mean, like, the last room is not too bad, in my opinion. As long as you, like, not do any dumb mistakes, farewell shouldn't be too much of an issue. Especially because I can do farewell consistently. Just gonna be a matter of like if I can do it under the immense amount of pressure of having the farewell Goldenberry behind me. That's gonna be the like the main source of issue here, really. The main source of issue is going to be if I can actually perform farewell deathless without any issues while having the actual golden behind me. So if I can do the actual golden room first try, easy peasy. The only thing I would really have to like get my hands on practicing at is to control my nerves once I actually get here during the actual run. And then it's pretty much easy afterwards again. Gonna do one more attempt to see if it's good. Oh, that was a little bit of a mistake there on my end. Well, that's not gonna that's not gonna happen. Just gonna go right back to the beginning. Try that one again. But yeah, like room 92 farewell subchapter is not too much of an issue. As I said, the only issue here would be to keep my nerves under control so I don't mess up because of them. That is like the main biggest issue of them all that would cause most of the deaths here. But I can do this one pretty consistently. Like this one's not much of an issue. Oh, nice fucking checkpoint. Nice checkpoint. But yeah, everything else is like Not too bad. It's pretty easy. It's not that much of a difficulty. It's just going to be the nerfs afterwards, which would be the biggest run killer. Anyway, let's see what the guide says afterwards anymore. Not much else to practice than the key skip itself. Try to get used to the jelly evaders, as the dashes are 3 frame inputs. The key skip. Oil skip. Power source key skip. There it is. Farewell speedrun strategies. Power source key skip. While the key skip isn't mandatory for the golden run, and for some people it might be harder due to the jelly evaders, leading to the skip being rather tight, the significant time save it gives makes the beginning faster by a fair amount. Since you'll be going through singular and power source a lot, any form of time save will reduce the tedium of repeating the beginning over and over. If you're not comfortable with the jelly evaders, you can take the red bubble to the right, grab the pink refill, and use it to reach the power box. So what? Wait. You can take the red bubble to the right, grab the pink refill, and use it to reach the power box. Okay. There will be another jellyfish on the right side of the hub. So you'll be able to do jelly evaders anyway. After leaving the hub, there's 2 effective ways to go through the tight gap in the alternate path. Stand on the edge of the platform while holding a jelly. Immediately jump while holding right to jump right into the entrance. And once you go past the tight obstacle, throw the jelly and immediately do a down right dash. The window for the dash is lenient, so if you get used to the timing, the risk of dying is very low. Once you reach the entrance to the alternate path, grab onto the right wall. Slowly move down to the previous room so Madeline stays at the top of the previous room, and then jump as close as possible to the end of the screen. The room transition causes Madeline to do a small jump, which sets you up for a very well diagonal dash. The rest of the alternate path is very straightforward. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the power source. Let me go to the actual place that I think it's talking about, which would be over here, because I believe what it's talking about is taking this way. If I can actually not be an idiot. I just need to not be stupid. Hold on, let me just get the checkpoint. Like, I could just move with the checkpoint thingy. I'm stupid. Yeah, so do this. Holy shit, I am a total idiot. What the fuck am I doing? So we go here. Go there. And then from what I understand, it's giving me 2 options, and one of them is to just go straight for it like this. But the other one would be to use the double crystal to my advantage. So essentially, I would be taking the double crystal instead of the jellyfish and using that to make my way up. Oh yeah, that's way easier then. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Let me go through it again, but now instead of doing the jellyfish way, we do the double dash crystal method. So essentially it would be like this. We'd make our way through like that, not die, preferably. Go like this, go like that. Get that crystal. But we would still have to get the jellyfish, no matter what. So it wouldn't even matter if we did the double dash crystal method or not. Especially because the other key skip, the like second part of the key skip, involves needing the jellyfish either way. So even if we did find a way to like skip the jellyfish, it would not matter because we still would need a jellyfish. So we would be taking this with a double dash crystal, preferably. Making our way up over here. Okay, hold on. How do I make a like save? Like a practice save. Fast forward, toggle, toggle. Save state is Q. And okay, so save state is Q. How would I load? I assume the same way as I usually would. Okay, so save state would be Q. Or whatever button, really. What button is for saving? That one reloads the level, that's the debug menu. Like, there has to be a button which, like, saves, right? Unless I'm, like, stupid or something. Okay, hold on. Okay, fuck it. I'm not gonna fucking be asked to try and figure out all this shit like that. So we go again. Get the jellyfish. We'd make our way up here. And then how are we supposed to do this again? So, power ski. Stand on the edge of the left platform while holding a jelly. Immediately jump while holding right to jump right into the entrance. To the tight obstacle, throw the jelly, immediately do down right dash. Hold on. Source. Key skip. Celeste. Like, am I looking at the right thing? Power source. Power source. Farewell speedrun strategies. Hold on, let me look at the video for like a better reference to see how it goes.
All right.
I'm gonna turn the volume off. So you do this, you do that. And then in here.
And our goal is to be able to jelly Vader up the center. And it's done with this is pretty precise, honestly, and it's gonna take you a while to get down.
Okay.
This is my setup here, where I look at Madeline's right foot, and it's kinda in this first black square. Like, you see the black square that's underneath Madeline's foot? That's kind of my lineup. I like to be like a tiny bit like into it and more towards the right side of the black square. But what you're gonna want to do is jump, throw, and get in the bubble. Make sure you are holding grab like the entire time after you throw. That was the thing that I realized I was messing up the most. Because I would try to dash and jelly Vader, but I would miss. And it's because I wasn't holding grab. I was trying to grab and dash out of the bubble at the same time. So this is the lineup. Hold grab the entire time. Literally just practice it and you'll get it. So you see, I was so.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna slow this down a little bit. I'm gonna slow this down. So jump, release, jump in here, and then dash. Okay. So. Okay, I think I see the vision. I think I see what I have to do. So let me get the second crystal. So it's bam, bam, bam. And then I have to dash in the middle. And it has to be a middle jump, or else it's not. It literally won't work because I'll just jump right into my spikes, or dash into my spikes. Going up. So, foot here, bam, bam, bam. I'm gonna have to be faster than this. So most likely I'm gonna have to do bam, release, and then dash to do the thingy. At least I'm gonna assume that's what I'm gonna need to do, because that's just like way faster than doing the normal jump for that. So let me get the crystal again. Oh, I cannot use the double dash, right? So the only way is for me to do it like this. So most likely when I get into the bubble, I'm gonna have to manually like start the like momentum thingy. That way I'm faster than the jellyfish. At least that's what I'm gonna assume I need to do. So let me try it again. Yep, that's what I need to do. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I see what I need to do. do this, we do that. Top left. And then we would be out of that room. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, let me try doing it again. Let me try that one again. So we get the second dash crystal. Make our way up. Align myself. Yep. Okay, that's not too bad then. It's not too difficult. It's just that one singular thingy there. Where I was like having trouble with it. But since I know now how I'm actually supposed to do that part, it shouldn't be too much of an issue now. And then afterwards, I just need to practice the other rooms. We go up. And then that is PS. That's power source. Okay, let me do a practice attempt of power source to see how far I can actually get. What happened? Why is my thingy broken? There we go. Now it's working. Okay. Let me go back to power source and do a like practice attempt to see how low my death counter would be if I were to do practice of power source alone. Like, could we get a deathless power source? So we do this. Pretty self-explanatory. We can just do that. Then we would be here. So we go first over here to get the dash crystal opened up. We don't necessarily need to at the moment, but it is at least going to make this a little bit safer for us. Especially in the next part, because I realized then I can just do double dash right through everything into this room. Or at least into the jellyfish part of the room. Make our way through here. Get through. Open it up. Careful of the electricity. Get through here. 1, 2. Turn it on. Oh, that was stupid. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. And just believe that we never actually did a stupid mistake like that. You didn't see anything. And hi, Fan. I hope your day's been going well. How you been doing? So we go over here into the secret section. And then with the practice that we've made, die right after. That's not exactly what I wanted. So we go to this, get the crystal, then into the secret room, align myself with the little square down there, and there we go. Nice. Pretty good, much better. I've been doing pretty good myself too. Have been mostly chillin', making some more music. I actually have finished a few more songs of the like Hubworld album. One of them being your song, which I'm very happy about. With how it came out specifically. And yeah, then we would be out of the room. So we essentially would... Okay, so the lowest that we managed to get through this room is 1 death. And thank you for making me play my Castletown on piano. Give me just a second. So the lowest death we got in this checkpoint separately in this sub-chapter, actually, is 1 death. We can easily get 0 deaths in this if we just do more practice on the key skip. So we just need to do more practice on that and we should be good. But yeah. Let's see, that's good. Remembered. But let me go ahead and play my Castletown now. So let me go ahead and switch over to the piano scene. There we go. Hello, chat. Hope you're all doing well. Let me just take a quick sip beforehand, though. There we go. And open up FL Studio so that the audio can actually go through the thingy. Where is labs? There it is. Alrighty. Let me see if it actually goes through. Yep, perfect. Alright, then let me just like go and quickly play my Castletown, and then we can go right back into practicing some more for the Goldenberry. A little bit of a pretty a little bit of a pretty big mistake like at the middle, but it gets the job done. It was good. It was good most of the It was pretty good. Most of the way, I would say. Do I spy a Mika box on the ground? It sure is, yep. Let me just quickly pick it up. I'm not gonna go do a face reveal just yet, even though I've already shown you my face on on Discord and everything in Discord faces. But I'm not gonna do a public face reveal. But yeah, I literally have Hatsune Miku energy thingy that I bought a few months or so back. And from that I literally now have literally Hatsune Miku energy and also a little shaker. Look at it. Got myself a Hatsune Miku shaker because of that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything from that. Let's go back to doing more Celeste. Where's my controller? Where did I leave my controller now? There it is. There's my controller. Alright, let me close this. But yeah, so with enough practice, I can definitely get a power source easily without any issues. I couldn't tell what it was, I just guessed based on the colors. Well, your guess was pretty good, considering it was actually Hatsune Miku. Wait, let me look at the thingy again. There was something about... I feel like I saw something about Remembered in the low death run section. Remembered, there we go. Has a couple of tricky rooms that can be annoying to deal with, so it's recommended to do a few runs of it to be able to pass it consistently. Dying in Remembered often feels frustrating for players that it's past the power source skip, but not far enough to get to the hardest parts of the chapter. Gotcha. So let me go right back into Celeste so I can see what difficult parts I might need to practice for Remembered. So far, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, this one, that room wasn't that difficult. Oh, I can definitely see this one being an issue though. Possibly. I'm gonna keep that one in mind. Oh, this one. Ooh, oh, right. That one might be an issue. That one could be a very big issue. Definitely. That's 2. That's 2 or 3 deaths, I believe it was, for that room. RM3, gotta remember, 2 or 3 deaths. I'm gonna say 3 deaths it was. I think it was 3 deaths for RM3. Okay. Ouch. It's 1. That's 2. Two deaths. But arm 3 and 6 are definitely on the containers of needing to be careful with them. 3 and 6 are gonna be on my watch out list. Gonna keep a very close eye on those. 3 and 6. Three and 6. Got 1 death and 10. That's another death. 2 deaths. Three, 6, and 10 are on my list. I've gotta be careful about. Three, 6, and 10. Then we get this. Just get the cutscene. And then we get into EH, Event Horizon. So yeah, 3, 6, and 10. I got 2 deaths in. So let me go back into my little spreadsheet. 3, 6, and 10. I believe it was 3, 6, and 10, right? Yeah. RM3, RM6, and RM10. RM3, RM6, and RM10. I did not keep count on the number of deaths in RM3, but I was assuming it was 3. Just for this, I'm gonna say it was 2 in each of those rooms. So 2, 4, 6, and then I believe in 2 other rooms I've died twice. So I think it was 8 deaths, if I counted correctly. So 3, 6, and 10 are gonna be practice worthy. Because of like everything that they have in store for us. Okay. Let me do 3. I'm gonna get RM3 at least 3 times in a row. If I can get it 3 times in a row, then I'm gonna move on to RM6. I just need to find a consistent way to do that 3rd and 4th block specifically. Those are definitely gonna be the biggest killers of RM. Like those last 2 blocks are like the biggest like Goldenberry killers or the room killers in specific. So meticulous. I mean, Farewell is a pretty sophisticated level, so I do have to keep a lot of like track on like all of the deaths and everything. I didn't have to do that with other rooms. I didn't have to do that with 7B because 7B and everything, they were at least like small enough that I could know immediately by like my own testing, like which rooms I would need to practice on. But because, as you can see in the lower left, Farewell is 93 rooms long. So I can't just like keep track of like every room I like died in, specifically also because I also need to practice all of the separate sections, because not all sections are easy. They are pretty difficult. Okay, I think I found a way to do the third block easily. But then I would still need to get more consistent with getting the crystal. Yeah, I think I know how to do the third spring now. I just need to like drop myself for like a tiny second. Same goes for this one. Okay, that's one. That's two. And then I need to wait a little bit before I do the dash to get the crystal. Or else that's just gonna continuously go ahead and happen. I need to be like on like the close edge of the left side of the crystal. And also collect the crystal while I'm at it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, something like that. It's one. That's two. And there's three. There we go. Nice. So we can now move on to RM6, which is another one where we died over three or two times in a row. Yeah. RM3 has been practiced. It's now on to RM6. Where we're gonna go till we have another one 3 times in a row, where we get through the rooms 3 times in a row. And other than that, I'm gonna be in that room for quite a while. And that's pretty much how it's gonna go for the rest of all sub-chapters. Oh wow, I missed. I was too high. Yeah, that's gonna go for most of all the sub-chapters, because for the Goldenberry, of course, I'm gonna need to do this without dying, of course. So, you know. It would be also good if I can do sub-chapters without dying. Thing is, I just apparently really fucking suck. Seeing how it's currently going with RM6. Like, I don't really know how I'm supposed to do this room consistently. I'm gonna be fairly honest with you. Because it's an issue of like, when do I release? How far do I have to go? And is the timing that I have even right or not? Because like here, I got the like platform down, but I was way too fast from the looks of it. Or too slow, I guess. So this room is gonna be very tedious to get, like, any sort of, like, momentum and consistency in. Especially because, like, just stuff like that can happen. Oh, you can't see it. I'm fucking I constantly keep forgetting to switch the fucking scene so you can actually see what I'm doing. God, I'm a fucking dumbass. Okay, that's one. Man, so shit like this can happen where, like, I'm just, like, too fast and I either release too early and don't hit the spring, I'm too late and the jellyfish hits the wall, or I get the wall down but I'm too late because the jellyfish hits the spikes on the, like, the spiky wall and I can't jellyfish my way up. That's two. I might have found an alignment. Yep, I found the alignment. That's three. Pretty much when I need to release is when I am in height with the spike wall. Right here. And then I can do it easily without any issues. Gotcha. So that's what I need to do. Okay, I see it now. I get it now. If I don't pull any dumb mistakes like that, then it will be even better, of course. Yeah, okay. And then the last room, the other room that we need to practice was RM10. Now, I do not know how you're actually supposed to do this room. I'm just kind of guessing on what you are actually supposed to do. And I believe that might have been actually the correct way on how you're supposed to do that room. At least it felt like it was the correct way to do this room. It certainly feels correct. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, that's 3 in a row. Okay, let me do one more attempt on Remember. I am in the completely wrong room. I need to go out and into Remembered. That's subchapter Remembered. Gotta get hit. Perfect. Nice. This room might be an issue, but time will tell. So far, it's not giving me too much issues. And that is 1 death in RM3. Okay, 1 death in RM3. That needs some fixing. That's RM6. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. There we go. And I'm gonna just shimmy my way through. Shimmy my way through to here. Push it down enough. RM10. There we go. Oh wow, RM11. RM11 too. Two deaths in RM11. RM11 might be a contender on the practice list. We didn't get the jellyfish on there, so that's an immediately a loss right there. Okay. So, what was it? Was it 12? Yeah. So 12 and 3 have one death. Twelve and 3 had one death, and then RM11 had 2 deaths. So it's now lowered to 4 deaths, with RM11 having the highest amount of deaths, which is 11. RM11 having the highest, which is 2. My bad. Okay. Let me do another attempt. That was almost too low, Jesus. So this is not an issue. RM2 hopefully shouldn't be an issue in the future. I can only hope and pray that it's not going to be an issue in the near future. I say as I immediately die once. Twice. Oh boy. Three times? Okay. RM2 is a contender now on the having to... RM2 is gonna have to be a contender on the having to really practice this one. Because like, holy crap, what the hell was that? That was like embarrassing, Jesus. Well, it's enough to make me restart the chapter. Because the lowest amount of deaths was 4. My controller just bugged out. I was pressing left I don't know why it gave me a completely random input in the completely wrong direction. That's just great. I still need to buy a new controller. I completely forgot about that. I still need to buy a new controller, which preferably would be a notch controller. So that I can actually tell when I'm on the correct angles or not. When I'm actually doing the dashes. Nice one. I hate my controller. What the fuck was that all about? Anyway. Yeah, I need to get a notch controller. Like, desperately, dude. It is unbearable to try and actually do golden attempts with this controller. Especially now that I am doing... Like, especially now, it's going to be a very big issue. Because I do not want to reset like 50 or 60 rooms into a Goldenberry attempt. Because my controller decided to give me a direction which I never inputted. And of which I have no clue if it was my fault then, or not. So I desperately need to get a notch controller. Ouch. But so far it's not looking too bad for most rooms. What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're getting this. Ouch. Again? The same way. Like twice. Dying the same way twice is crazy. And then we just do this. Skip the cutscene. And then we would be in Event Horizon. And don't do that, because that would be very bad. Especially because we do have all of the hearts. So we don't need to do the, like, heart skip. But yeah. From the practice that we have currently already done, the first two rooms don't seem to be not a major issue, except the key skip, and then a couple of rooms here and there in Remembered, which will be a very significant like part of a run killer. Especially some rooms which I still sometimes die in, which I already have gotten pretty good practice in. Nice one. So I'm 6 done. But yeah, on my bucket list is going to be getting a notch controller at some point. I literally do not have the money for it right now as of currently. And probably won't have for quite a long time. Which, you know, is gonna suck. But I'm just gonna have to deal with it. The same way I've dealt with it for years. I missed. That's not good. That's 1 death in RM10. A little bit of a fluke death, I guess you could say. Because I did remember when I need to throw it. And I kind of just like fumbled the back there. And that's 1 death in RM11. Ow. Fuck, you know. The RM11 is gonna be a big run killer. Because of all the precise and like very tiny spots where you can easily like die. Jesus Christ. Does family do gifts or money? They mostly do money or like gift cards for like the Nintendo eShop. But sometimes they also gift like gifts as well. Most of the times it's like decent enough that I guess I can say like, yeah, it's kind of what I wanna. And sometimes it's pretty good. Like I remember one time, I don't remember what it was. Like I think on my I think it was like 11th or like 10th birthday, maybe 13th birthday, I got like a whole stack of like Pokemon cards. Like a whole box that was like all Pokemon cards, which was nice. But of course that was like multiple years ago now at this point. And since then, everything has gotten a bit more expensive and everything. And so like the best item that I've really gotten over the last few years now at this point was getting actually the physical like copy of Omori for Switch. It was the Japanese version, but you know, I like Japanese, so I don't have much against that. Because I really wanted that like photo thingy of like Basil tagging Omori. And so because of that, I do have that thing now. I do have the little photo of Basil tagging Omori, which is nice. Ouch. There we go. But the lowest I can get currently for remembered is 4. I will come back to it at some point later on. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and continue on to practicing the next few sections. For example, Horizon. Was there anything about Horizon? Event Horizon. One of the hardest checkpoints, although it is fairly straightforward for most of the time. But some rooms require a decent amount of precision, therefore requiring a bit of practice to get your muscle memory down. Gotcha. Well, Event Horizon is going to be a big choke point, according to the strategy guide. Oh, I almost managed to get through it. I want to get the little skippy skip. Yeah, I got a little skippy skip. It's so unnecessary, but I like it. So I'm doing it anyway. Skipping the cutscenes. That's one death. But a silly one at that, because I can easily avoid it by doing that. Okay, this one's gonna be this room, EH8. It's gonna be a big killer. I wanna be like... I wanna be like more in the middle. I wanna give myself at least a tiny bit of space on the... like, end. At the end. But most likely I'm not gonna be able to do that. Just gonna have to get as close to everything as possible. Oh yeah, definitely gonna have to be like close as possible with all of the jumps. EH8 gonna be a pretty big choke point. I don't know why nothing happened. Ah, didn't get the dash. If you don't count those 3 deaths, we are still below well, not anymore. I was gonna say we would still be below the double digits, but not anymore. Okay, how am I supposed to do this one? Ah, I see. And then I need to do another wall bounce here. Yep. Yep. Nice, nice. Ooh, yeah, this one's gonna be a pretty big, like, killer of the run. EH15 with its, like, complex cycles. EH15 is gonna be the biggest run killer of them all. Because of its, like, weird and complex cycles that I do not understand how to get consistently. Oh, I could do that. But then I wouldn't have a dash still. Maybe it could be good. No, not really. could do it like this. That's like the only way I could really see myself getting it. And then EH16, Event Horizon 16 is horrible. It is so inconsistent. From my own experience, it is so inconsistent whether you get it or not. Because of the way the like wall bounce trajects you afterwards, it is almost unbearable with how difficult that one is. Especially because you have to do it twice. You don't do it once, you do it twice. And the second one, you have even more of like a bigger delay because of the spring. Yeah, EH16 is going to be like the biggest, the most important one we're going to have to practice. Because like that is just unbearable on a whole nother level. Like doing that one is just on a whole nother on like level of unbearable. So EH16 is gonna have to get practice a fuck ton. Ooh. Just barely. And then we get into DT1. How many deaths do we have? 36. Holy moly. 36 for the Event Horizon. That is a major fucking spike compared to like the previous ones. With the most amount one being EH16. I don't remember the most amount of deaths I got in EH16, but it's definitely a lot. EH16 is the biggest run killer. Like, no doubt, EH16 will kill your runs. Why is why is EH18 so big here? Oh, right. I'm stupid. I forgot. Because you go down here and there, and then, like, you get this section and everything. Right. But, like, compared to Farewell, it is nothing. Even, like, this room, DT14, is nothing compared to Farewell. What even is DT14? Oh, it's this room. Ah, this one's gonna suck during actual attempts. Ah, this one's gonna suck during attempts. Oh no. DT14 is gonna be like a big pain in the ass. But before we even mention any of the other ones, we still need to do practice on all of the other ones in Event Horizon. Okay. I feel like I have a strategy, but I also feel like I don't. Like, what the fuck was that? That shit just propelled me like 50,000 like kilometers. Like, away. Okay, I feel like I have a strategy. I feel like I have a strategy for EH16. Yeah, I think I got it. EH16 is not gonna be much of an issue anymore, from the looks of it. But EH15 definitely will be, in comparison. Like, EH16 will take the cake. Like, EH16 will take the second, like, will take the spot. Now that we found a decently good enough method of doing the, like, room. Because, like, the cycles here are just, like, so weird. They're almost unbearably, like, confusing. Like, I genuinely do not know when I'm supposed to, like, go through everything. Like, I have no clue when the cycle starts and where it ends, because, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's, like, so confusing. I genuinely do not have any idea how I'm supposed to do this room. Like, in a consistent manner. It's just so confusing. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I need to be quick on the first one, or else I'm just gonna dash my way into the spikes. But it's also... and then I have to be slower on the second one. And then precise on those third ones. God damn, EH15 is like the most confusing one of them all. EH15 is gonna be a big part of practicing and finding a consistent method for it. Because, like, I genuinely have no idea how I'm supposed to do this room otherwise. It is just a confusing mess of cycles. Which I have no clue how to tame. And then the rest of that afterwards is easy. Hold on. I might have found something. I might have found it. It's all about being as slow as possible on the second dream block. At the second section, you want to be as slow with your dashes as possible. I think I might have found a way. Yeah, I think I got it. I think that's it. That's EH15. Okay. Well then. EH14, I feel like I might need to practice it a bit. But I also feel like I don't at the same time. Which other ones might have been a big issue? EH13 is not too much of an issue. EH12 might be an issue. EH12 might be an issue. Because of the amount of like height I get afterwards. It's too much. And then I just like jump into my demise. Into the spikes. Which, you know, is not really great for something where you wanna not die. That one's pretty easy though afterwards. The third moving block is easy. It comes down mostly to like the first and second moving block, which take out most of my tries. I feel like I might know a way. I feel like I might know a way. So that's one. But then the first one is gonna be in the way. God. That's one. Can't make it. Second one. Nope. First. Nope. First. Second. And third. Nice. Okay, I feel like I got the rhythm down on what I'm supposed to do for EH12. I think I know. Yeah, I think I got it. I think I got it for EH12. Okay. EH11 I don't think is gonna be too much of an issue. As long as I get like the first wall jump here, we should be good afterwards. Because everything else has like crystal dashes and everything, so that's not gonna be an issue. Was EH10 an issue? Yeah, I believe EH10 had a bit of issues here. Okay, that's good to know. If I'm low enough, I can just like slide right past it. But then of course there's the risk of being too low. And then not being able to like actually make it. Yeah, like that. That's not gonna be good. That is good. At least I know a consistent way of seeing if I actually am good or not with my height. Otherwise I will have to do the wall bounce. Like manually. Which, you know, with this sort of like pressure is not going to be very nice. And definitely not going to be very easy either. But I think either way I'm still going to have to do it no matter what. I'm still gonna have to do the wall bounce no matter what. That's 2. And that's 3. Nice. Okay, so we got a decent way, consistent way of doing EH10. Was EH9 an issue? I don't think it was. I don't think EH9 was an issue. Other than that second, like, wave dash there, it's not too much of an issue. It's not much of an issue. Let me check EH8. Okay, EH8 might be an issue. 8 might be an issue because of the preciseness that is needed afterwards. But as long as I keep that middle section like intact and have enough space in between the middle, I should just be good to just like release. Yeah. I just need to keep as much of the middle intact as possible. Yeah, so 8, not gonna be much of an issue then either. 8's not gonna be much of an issue. 7, I can see if 7 might be an issue. It could be a potential issue. But not really. It's not really much of an issue. If I don't do any like dumb mistakes, if I don't play like an idiot, then this one's gonna be not much of an issue either. If I don't like do any dumb shit, I'm gonna be fine. Yeah, this one's not that bad. EH7's not that bad. Let me check EH5. Yeah, EH6. Not EH5. I was on the wrong one. But EH6 not too much of an issue either. 6 not much of an issue. What was EH5? Oh yeah, EH5 is not much of an issue either. EH5 is easy. Then of course we got the like practice rooms, I think it was. This is the story part. This one's a freebie. 3 is the practice, 2 is practice, 1 is just like the beginning section. Yeah. Alright, let me restart it, try again, see what my lowest can be. In a singular attempt. Easy first room. Skip the cutscene because it's a freebie. One, 2, 3. Easy peasy. That might be our first death. Nope. I avoided death. Not bad. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, we're gonna die. There was no space for me to, like, stand. I was, like, too much in the middle. So I fumbled it. I fumbled it again. It's 2 deaths. An EH8. Okay, this should that should be good. Yeah, there we go. So for the only one with the most amount of deaths is EH8 with 2. That's 1. Oh shit. I didn't expect to die there. I thought I was safe. Yeah, no biggie. Oh, careful. Right into the spikes too. Jesus Christ. What am I doing? Fuck's sake. EH13 with 3 deaths. Four deaths. There we go. Jesus Christ. Nice, nice, nice. Oh my god, the feather is so annoying. What? I wasn't far? I wasn't close enough? That's 3 deaths. Oh my god. 4 deaths. There we go. And then this should be, yep, DT1. 14 deaths. Better than before. And now instead of EH16 being a big killer of those runs, it was... which ones was it? EH13. And then there was another one. I think it was EH10. with 3 or 4. Was it EH8? I think it was EH8. Let me check again. Yeah, I think it was EH8. Yeah, EH8. So EH13 and EH8, both having respectively 4 deaths in them, from what I could remember. But that was not that bad for today. For today's practice, like it was not too bad for like practicing each and every like separate section. It was not too bad. I definitely say it was very good. But yeah, it is getting pretty late. It's almost 10 p.m. So today's stream is gonna come to a close. So let's go ahead and see who we can raid. Who's currently live. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, Trinky's live. Trinky44. We can raid into Trinky. / raid Trinky44. So that's gonna be the end for me today. I hope you all enjoyed today's stream, even with the amount of scuff of me forgetting to switch between scenes. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. And yeah, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m, same time, same thing, doing golden attempts, and bye-bye. Practice, not attempts. Bye-bye. I'm an idiot.